Okay, new year, and I thought you'd like to join me on a dry fast. So this year, let's start out the year with a dry fast. I am the author of the book, The Phoenix Protocol, Dry Fasting for Rapid Healing and Radical Life Extension. For all my subscribers, welcome to a new year. I'm going to be sharing a lot of new information that I found out right in the third book that you're going to really want to know about, so it's really pretty cool. So I just thought I'd get on here and just sort of say, this is the way to do a dry fast. Get this book, The Phoenix Protocol. Read the book, learn what your body does, learn why you want to use a dry fast to fix things, learn how this technology works. It's really remarkable, and you need a little education because coming out of it, depending on how long you're in it, determines a lot of things you have to do to exit a dry fast safely. Now, that being said, we're going to go through at least 5 days, maybe 7 if I feel like it, but I'm going to do a 5-day dry fast. The way I like to do this is Wednesday to Sunday. So Tuesday night I stop eating, tonight, and Monday morning I start eating. It's a little over 5 days. But a lot of things happen during that time period, stem cell regeneration, all that sort of stuff. There's things you can do to get into ketosis faster, so you can get into that deep autophagic state, which does all the healing. But there's a few things you just have to do today. Today, you just have to basically eat some watermelon. You know, get something really fluffy and watery going through the colon, clearing everything out before you go into a dry fast. Constipation going into a dry fast is not fun. I've had it happen to me, and I find that eating a watermelon is a perfect way to prepare for a dry fast. Also, not that I talk about it, but because our food supply is so deficient in minerals, that it's probably a good idea to load up on some electrolytes, magnesium, potassium. I already do 2 teaspoons of salt a day, so I got plenty of sodium in the system. So, you know, it's just a matter of management, body management, and what you're going to do. So you just need to decrease your food, you know, switch over to black coffee in the late part of the day, eat some watermelon, get ready to go for this, and then in the morning just not eat. During the first couple of days of a dry fast, when you stop eating and stop drinking, if you could do that at night into the next day, I'll talk about that in subsequent videos. There's something really cool about skin and about how to take care of virus and stuff that get inside of you. I'll get into that later. Well, for 2 days, you're going to run out of energy a little bit because you're using up all your glycogen. You know, people think they're in ketosis enough to go into deep ketosis really fast. Probably not, because glycogen pillows. You have all this glycogen that plugs onto these little spiral pillows to put storage of energy for your mitochondria in the muscle and the liver. And until that runs out, you don't turn off specific enzymes to start turning on all the healing stuff. So 2 days into it, you're going to be running through some energy. By the end of the second day, which would be Thursday night for me, before Friday. See, I do this in regards to, you know, people that have to have a work schedule. This is kind of the way to do this. If you start on Wednesday, you've got plenty of energy. Wednesday and Thursday, by the time you get home, you start getting kind of, you know, weak because you're running out of sugar. You start switching over to fat. The energy comes back. Friday, you're back in the pink again, and you can complete the work week. Then Saturday and Sunday, you just take it easy, walk around, you know, and just wait it out. Binge watch TV, movies, that kind of stuff. Then after a 5, at least drink a quart of coconut water for the potassium. Do some magnesium pills or that sort of stuff, but 5s are not that big a deal. You can almost just go right back to eating. After a 7-day dry fast, yeah, you've got to reestablish your electrolytes because you've been using tons of magnesium, because you use magnesium to get the ATP out of the cells so you have energy to run all the processes. So your magnesium stores are really low, and typically most people have very low magnesium anyway. So you reestablish that, you drink broths and that kind of stuff, and you end up, you know, I like bone broth and collagen peptides. And you just, you know, kind of get back into eating. But what happens in that time period is absolutely remarkable. There's almost nobody that ever says, you know, something didn't happen. Something always happens. Something is fixed that hasn't been fixed in a long time, because that's just what dry fasting does. You know, this is a very cool technology and a method, a therapeutic method for illnesses. But if you're not ill, think of the good it's doing. And that's why we use it in the Phoenix Protocol. Anyway, so please, get the book, read how to do this, follow along with me for the next 5 to 7 days, and I'll show you how it's done, because, you know, I wrote the book on the subject. Anyway, look, have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and I hope to see you on this Dry Fast. Take care, and please hit the subscribe button and the like button and all those silly buttons, because it really helps get the message out to people. And I will talk to you tomorrow.